We talk a lot about our creative mortgage solutions and the variety of programs we have available to us. That flexibility is something of value that we provide to our customers all the time. But sometimes, one program is just better than the others. Let's talk about that one, and spend a minute asking the question, why VA? So, let's take a simple borrower. He's looking to purchase a new home. He has a good job with a steady income, he has great credit, and he even has some money saved up for a decent down payment. Well, that checks off all the boxes to qualify him for a great conventional loan. He also happens to have served our country in Afghanistan. So now we have to ask the question, conventional or VA? Well, since he qualifies, traditional wisdom is that conventional is always better, right? Well, as with a lot of things you'd call conventional wisdom, it's probably not true. So why is that conventional wisdom? Well, let's look at what a VA loan used to be. In the past, getting through the VA approval process involved a mountain of paperwork. VA's appraisals were slower, and there was a lengthy approval process. It was worth it when someone needed the help, but if they're like our borrower, it was just easier to go the conventional route. But times change. VA has streamlined their process, so that now eligibility information can almost always be attained in minutes online with just some basic documentation. Approval is easier thanks to more flexible underwriting requirements, faster with online processes, and more attainable than it was in the past. But, okay, bottom line, what does this mean for our borrower? All most borrowers are thinking about is their rate and the money they're going to have to bring to the table. Thinking that way, what are the benefits of VA lending with Greentree? Let's compare a few things. How about a little competition? Conventional loans versus VA loans. With a conventional loan, you may end up putting up to 20% down. But with VA loans, there's often no down payment requirement at all. Then, with conventional, PMI is often required, but it's never there with VA. And the reason we need that PMI also drives up rates. Conventional loans are risky. Thanks to VA's guarantee, VA loans have much more competitive rates. And what about high loan amounts? With conventional loans, as soon as the value goes over $417,000, you get into a jumbo loan, and there's a bunch of issues that come with it. With VA, there's no loan limit. The borrower will just have to bring a little money to closing if they get over that threshold. And with conventional loans, there's actually more red tape than VA now. Let me show you another comparison. This is on a 30-year, $200,000 mortgage, where the borrower has a little to put down. The money they want to put down still helps out because it lowers the funding fee. And when we compare these loans, you can see the VA loan has almost the same cash to close as the conventional option, but costs the borrower almost $200 less a month. Okay, how about another one? This time, let's take a $250,000 purchase, and let's say the borrower is prepared to put down a whole 20%. They want to put the money down and lower their payment. Let's see how VA stacks up here. As you can see, the cash to close requirements are going to be nearly the same, if not exactly the same, between the two options. But the payment is almost $60 less than the conventional. But, since VA won't require mortgage insurance for less than 20%, we can lower that down payment. And we see if they put down 10%, they'll save more than $20,000 in closing costs. And it will only cost $53 more a month than the conventional option with that whole $20,000 would have. That's $20,000 that could be used for new furniture or improvements on the home. And it's the kind of creative mortgage solution that people need. There's a growing population of veterans who are looking for these loans. In the states where we work, there are hundreds of thousands of people who have served our country, many of them returning from overseas to find their first homes. And many of them don't know the benefits of VA lending. Fewer than 13% of the nation's 22 million veterans have a VA loan. If your state follows the national average, you can see how few that is compared to all the servicemen and women in your state. Everyone but that 13% are missing out on the rising tide of VA loans. Just look at this chart to see the record years that 2012 and 2013 were. And do you see how many of those are refis? That's because VA improved their refinances as well. Eligible borrowers can now get a refinance at 100% of the home's value. That's the only program that offers something like that. And when they refi, the funding fee can be rolled in as well. That's alongside all the other benefits we've already talked about. So, why VA lending? Now we know about the many benefits that VA loans bring over conventional, and the amount they can save borrowers, and help realtors put people in homes that deserve them. It's the best program for most borrowers, and too few are taking advantage of it.